and welcome to the VKL Vlog Haul. So, Vogue Knitting Live was this past weekend, and of course I had saved up, gotten all my change and all my Christmas money and everything together, and I let myself have, whatever I wanted, and I stayed in that budget. New York is expensive. There's Ubers and coffees and random dinner dates with friends that you just have to factor into a trip like that. So it was a very exciting and expensive trip, but I can't wait to go back. I absolutely cannot wait to go back. So if you watched the Vogue Knitting Live vlog that I posted, I wish I had videoed more. Though, I think a 10-minute vlog is plenty for you to get a good idea of what my day looked like and how exciting it was. But there were some things that I didn't really get to capture on camera, maybe a little bit, and that is just how absolutely wonderful and kind these girls were. I was able to first meet up with Mina, who is the knitting expat, and we talked all about her knitting and her beautiful daughter, and it was just so nice. I had all this one-on-one time with Mina, which was a surprise, and I'm not even sure if she knew who I was at that point, but she was so kind and so nice, and just kind of like, we just fell into conversation. I got a coffee, and then we got Jacqueline. Jacqueline walks in and is dressed like 10 degrees warmer than it actually is, and she's like, I'm freezing, I have no knitwear on. So we all had a good giggle over like mishearing her Alexa in the morning, and then kind of like coming through, we got Kristen, and Ellie was staying with Kristen, so we got Kristen of Jacqueline of the Brooklyn Knit Folk podcast, so Vine and Yarngasm podcast, and I met Ellie in person. I met her in one of those little like live chats once, and that was really fun, but this was even better because you get to just hug them and they're real. It's absolutely wonderful. So yeah, I saw Ellie and her amazing colorwork skills in person, which was really exciting. And what else? And then Carlene came in, I think a little earlier. Carlene came in, and I hadn't gotten to meet Carlene yet, and I didn't like recognize her off the top of my head. I felt so bad, but the minute she said her name, I was like, of the Carlenergy podcast? And she's like, yes. So I was like, Kristen says your name a lot, that's how I knew it. So that was so exciting, and I met her, and she was absolutely wonderful. So that was just, they were all absolutely wonderful as you think and hope they are. They are. They're just that nice. And so kind to me, to kind of someone who hadn't been there before, and just kind of folded me in, and just I was involved in the chats and the planning and the videos and the vlogs and the vlogception and all of it. It was just amazing. So then we had and of the Slow Fashion Rebel is Emily, who is now working with Kristen. So she was fantastic, super crafty person, so like fit right in, of course. And she was so nice, and just like I got to chat with her for a bit. And Julie of Sweet Sparrow Knits had curled her hair that morning, so she was pulling up the rear as the last one in. But we all sat and chatted for a little bit longer after everyone got to the coffee shop, kind of just knit on our socks. I think almost everyone had socks, either 2 at a time or 1 at a time. I think everyone was working on socks, except Jacqueline was working on a glove at one point, which you saw in her last podcast. You will have seen it, and actually I'm super tempted. I've wanted to knit the Clark socks for a while. I don't know if it was I just didn't have the yarn yet, or I didn't have the mental space to do cables, because I do a lot of vanilla. I like winding down that way. So I'm not sure what it was, but when I saw the mittens, I was like, yes, I can get familiar with the Clark pattern. I can do it in a bulkier weight. I can have mittens, which just seems like a great idea. And I've definitely got some skeins of Malabrigo that are super pretty and I'd like to use. So thinking thinking out loud. So yes, once everyone was in, we kind of like counted heads and asked, you know, is so-and-so coming, is so-and-so coming, checked, okay, I think we have everyone. And I have a full like latte in me at that point, and I must have tipped my chair twice. And I'm telling you, I was not tipsy. I was just, one, that excited, and two, my coat was heavier than the chair. So just kept right on the ground. And I'm like, I look like a nutter. Oh well. It was fantastic. So then we all start off and we got down to the subway. Mina beeps me in because she had a card and I was able to just pay her back, which was excellent. I didn't have to worry about buying an extra card for one ride, like literally one ride. So that was easier, and go through, and it's just this whole little section of knitters on the subway. We're all just like there, so that was fun. Ellie and I had kind of like glued ourselves behind Jacqueline and Mina, and Julie like, don't lose us. Because I don't think she's very familiar with it either. So the two of us were just like, follow them. And luckily Mina is quite tall, so she is able to stand up just a little higher than the rest of the pack here. And you can always find Mina, which was such a blessing in a crowd. I was so grateful that Mina's taller than we are. That was brilliant. So yeah, we got down, got through, got to Times Square, did a few photos. Mina got the most gorgeous shot of everyone on her Canon. Oh my word, it was beautiful. And I got a picture with Julie outside, and I wish I had thought to do it with everyone else, even though it was freezing, because the lighting was so good, you know, all that natural lighting. So the shadows and stuff were a little bit odd inside, but I was still happy to get pictures with everyone. But mental note, I do want to try to get some more before we hit the indoor lighting, like the super indoor lighting. Even a window will do. So then we did the escalator shot, which you could see, absolutely hysterical. Like we were like glued to each other at the bottom, like bop, 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 so that we could all get on each step and do the ride up, because if you have a gap, you're not going to get everyone in the photo. So I was like, quick, okay, get on. Oh my word, like such laughs just from the get-go, and this is only like 11 in the morning. Absolute blast. So yeah, it was just oh gosh, it was wonderful. So then we get in, and almost right away I see Lavanya Patronella, who is like the brioche cowl queen that I have been recently discovering. And then suddenly she's standing there in person, and Carlene gets pulled into a Christy Glass Knits interview with Lavanya Patronella, and I'm like, I'm just squealing there. And then I got to meet Danielle of Gemma Darling Daily, and she says she's going to start vlogging and podcasting a little bit more, which I thought was so exciting, because I loved her little podcast that she had going, and she was wearing a gorgeous oracle, which is Kristen's pattern. I've got 2 half oracles back here. I am also obsessed with them. I did not knit them. I'm going to talk more about these lovelies in the next full podcast, promise. So yes, I was able to meet Danielle in person. There was lots of squealing, and we admired each other's antique rings, and it was just a lot of fun. So and then into the marketplace, and that kind of is covered in the video. You can see the booths, the beautiful yarns, everything that people were buying. Oh, it was just stunning. So the first thing that I bought, I figured I might as well go in some sort of order. There's some things I even forgot I bought until I just opened this bag. Okay, so the first things that I bought, here we go. We passed by a booth that was carrying the Knitted Wit Victory DK, and I was instantly drawn to these neon colors, and the fact that it was a thicker yarn, and I was thinking they would make some really gorgeous squishy socks. So this is 100% superwash merino, hand wash, lay flat to dry. It is about 280 yards. So here we go. I'm gonna flip them so you can see them better. This one looks like watermelons to me, but it's actually called Bad Santa, which I had a giggle at. And This one is called Fairy Garden. Pat actually tried to claim these, but he's not getting them. It's sweet of him, but I appreciate his enthusiasm at the sports bar afterwards. He was like, "Oh, I like that color." Yeah, you're not getting these. Don't care. You're not getting them. And then he tried to claim the second skein I bought, so you'll see that in a bit. So this, I just thought reminded me of like summer and watermelon, and yeah, it was just so fun. But it's called Bad Santa, which I also thought is hysterical. So maybe some Christmas in July socks. Got a bit of both. Bad Santa, Christmas in July, looks like watermelons. I'm saying it's a win. And Fairy Garden, I don't know, it has all of my colors in it. So that specific blue, gorgeous purples, light blues, dark blues, bits of lime green thrown in there, dark green, like, it's just amazing. So these were the first two I found, and I was a little worried about losing people because, you know, it's a big marketplace, and I didn't want to come in with everyone and then lose them immediately. So I did try to like pay up quick. I like paid in cash and ran. So bad. But I paid. So I paid in cash and ran, and I come like kind of jogging up to the group, and I can see that they're talking to someone with light hair and some curls, and all I see is the back of her head. So I just get up and I like kind of come into the group, and I look up, and it's Sue of Legacy Fiber Arts, and I squeal like an idiot. I squeal. I go, "Ah!" And Mina's just like, "Meg," and I'm like, "I'm sorry. Hi." What? Why am I so weird? Oh, could have died. But she just laughed. I think she was missing Chelsea a lot. It was just it was visible how much she missed her right arm type of thing. I can imagine just like, you know, it's just not quite the same when you don't get to go with certain people, and Chelsea's obviously wonderfully close with her mom, so I'm sure Chelsea was missing her and she was missing Chelsea. It was very sweet. But I did get a picture with Sue after I squealed at her. She still let me take a picture with her. So I got a picture with Sue, and I was so thrilled. That was absolutely wonderful. She was wearing an exploration station that was gorgeous. I commented on that, and I commented on how excited we all were for Chelsea and all that wonderful stuff. So yeah, I met Sue, and then, I mean, I didn't say it then, but I was like, I'm gonna meet you again in May because I just got my tickets to the VIP part of the Legacy Fiber Arts Needles Up convention thing. So excited. I mapped quested 35 minutes. I couldn't be more excited, honestly. So yes, these are the first things I bought, and then I instantly ran into Sue, and I was just like, whew, overwhelmed. Then everyone was kind of looking through the different like color work mitten things. I haven't gotten totally bit by the color work bug, so I didn't buy anything there. From there, we went down, around, we looked at a few more things. I want to say I bought a pin at that point. Yes, I did. The first pin that I got was this little red one, and it says, "Knit like a local." Yeah, knit like a local. And I got it because it reminds me of New York, but it wasn't like only pertaining to New York. To me, like knitting like a local could mean here too. So it just had like all around warm and fuzzies. I got this one, and Mina got this one too. So now I'm pin twinsies with Mina at some point. Oh, we're twinsies on something else too, so I can mention that. But yeah, so I got this pin first. Yes, got this pin, and then we wandered around a bit more. And were you on round 1 or 2? You were on round 1. So at that point, I got kind of caught up. Yes, I got caught up in this beautiful booth. Works. Boom. So here's their card. And it looks like this. And you can find them on Instagram under that handle of Cozy Color Works. And I was able to squish the so faded. They had a so faded and so faded pint size. They had blocked them, and oh my word, 100% merino. The squish, oh my gosh, stunning. So I was able to go in that booth, and I did lose everyone for a while at this point because I was pretty determined to buy my own so faded again, because that was the most fun. Fading colors was so exciting to me. It keeps me engaged. It keeps me thinking like, okay, 10 rows of this, now 10 rows of that, now 5 rows of this, and 5 rows of that, or whatever. And the fading and what color comes next, and oh, I just loved it. Knitting faded sleeves, not my favorite, but we carry on. It probably would be easier if I wasn't doing them 2 at a time, because then I could just detangle the balls as I go, but this, it's like I have to have 4 balls so that I can detangle them separately and then detangle them from each other. I'm not looking forward to it, but it's worth it for the finished product. So the first thing that I was drawn to was the confetti cupcake, which was part of the pint size so faded sweater, and it's just got like neon yellows, pinks and purples. The blue kind of tapped yellow sometimes and made green. The purple bled out to pink. Very, very pretty. So this was the first one I got. Then I found this one was on sale, so I got a pink sticker on it, and it was $8 off, which, take it where you can get it. And this one was called Mint Julep. And it looks like this. I hope it's showing up as like neon-y. Can you see those neons? I think you can. It's green. Mint green. So I have this one and then this one, and I'm not sure if something needs to go in between them or if I just need to like extend the fade to kind of create another color. We'll see. And then from there I was fussing about trying to finish the fade. So I knew I wanted it to go from greens to blues because that's my color palette. I'm most comfortable in those colors, and they go with black pants, which is mostly what I wear. So this one is called Caribbean Sea. It's like very light blue. Looks like this. And that one is gonna come after this one. So now we're getting, I know they jump. They're gonna be kind of stripy unless I can get something that goes in between them. I was having a struggle, let me tell you. And then this one is, oh, unnamed. This one didn't have a name. So she's like, you can call it whatever you want. And I'm not sure what I would call it yet. We shall see. So this one's just got fun. It looks kind of like a blueberry type of base. Like berry season maybe. Yeah, blueberries, raspberries, berry season, why not? So I just named it. So then this is what I ended up with, and I think it's gonna make a pretty good fade. I know that this is a bit drastic. This could be compensated because they're both light. This is a bit drastic, I know. I am gonna make a swatch and check how it looks, and then if I have to figure out what to do in between these, if I need a 5th color, I'll make that decision then. But I was looking at their colors and their colorways and their so fadeds, and they really, I don't know, they just, even colors you wouldn't think would just fade, they do. They did. They were so good. So these are insanely soft. They're going to be even softer after blocking. I think I'm going to knit it with 5 for this so that it has a good amount of hold with those needles. And I'm not going to knit very, very tight or anything. And then, so you're saying 4 skeins, Meg, you know, is that enough? Each one of these has 550 yards. Look at that. 550 yards. So I have over 1,000 yards here, which is awesome. It's gonna be needed. But yeah, so 4 should be fine. 5 will definitely do it, but we shall see what I need. So exciting. But like only 4, like that's just, Yes. So after the swatch, which I really wanted to do this video now so that I could actually swatch today. So I think I'm going to throw these over onto the ball winder after we chat. And after that, we wander around a little bit more, and I got to see some Wool and Boon in person, but I ended up getting Barnyard Knits hand dyed. And I'm not sure if it needs to be in a shawl or a sweater, but I'm pretty obsessed. Yeah, pretty obsessed. This is called Steampunk, and Pat tried to claim this too. No. This is going to be 463 yards. So I don't know, I fell so in love with it. I couldn't help it. So socks, I think. Maybe Clark socks. Ooh, that could be really pretty. Oh, I would want to make sure that the cable doesn't get lost in all of the variegation. So, but I don't know. It's got like this is like a plum. This is like a plum, and then it goes into gray, and it goes into brown, and it's like this bright. Oh, so pretty. Love it. Love it so much. Obsessed. Have to make socks. And then I stopped by the junk yarn booth, and I didn't get the skein of yarn the first time. I got the skein of yarn the second round. But I went by the junk yarn booth, and I got a couple of pins. So I was able to get one of those little taxis that looks like this. So cute. I think I might turn it into a magnet, like stick it on magnet. That's color. Oh, I met the dyer from the machete shop as well. Brittany. She was fantastic. Oh my word, she was so fun to talk to. Got some photos, we chatted. Oh, it was great. Okay, so so I got a junk yarn pin. I got the literally dying pin from Shelly Can. I got Home is Where the Yarn Is. Oh, that was the one row press. That was Home is Where the Yarn Is, which spoke to me. And oh, I got a Stephen and Penelope pin. So let's cover pins at the moment. So this one is literally dying, which I thought was funny because I'm a dyer. And Love Your Junk. I almost didn't get this one, but then I saw the mint, and that's what sold it. So mint it was. There it is. And I got this one from the Stephen and Penelope, and it just says like Knitters Guild, basically, like knitter with a shield, coat of arms. Too hysterical. So I put all of these on a gift that I had gotten from Tanya. So I wanted to show it off to her, but I didn't get to see her, which was sad. But yeah, so I got this bag. Beep beep. So cute. And in that bag, I also got some tuft woolens because, you know, that's what you do. So I got two. This is 5th and 57th, which Mina got a bar of, and this one is tuft woolens in the honeycomb. So the honeycomb, so this one has cocoa, seed butter, lanolin, coconut oil, beeswax, shea butter, essential oils, right there. 5th and 57th has the cocoa seed butter, lanolin, coconut oil, beeswax, shea butter, essential oil. So same thing. Okay. So that's what's basically in these little guys. Now this one, and I've already started using it a little bit. I don't know if you can see. I'm also kind of pink. Okay, so if I were to describe the scent, it is a little bit like chocolate. It has a warm type of scent, and floral, a little bit of sweetness. That might be the chocolate. Almost like chocolate and wine. 5th and 57th. If you're curious, chocolate and wine. That's kind of what I would say it smells like. It's delicious, whatever it is. Yeah, it smells really, really good. So it's a little bit floral, but like, yeah, chocolate and wine. So I got 5th and 57 because I use these a lot. I use them on the tips of my fingers when I'm knitting. And this guy, like, I just couldn't. It smells like straight honey when you just open up a thing of honey. Yeah. So these two were treats for myself because I use them a lot. I haven't used up all of my last one, but I figured why not? So popping them back in my adorable Vogue bag. I'm so excited. I might use it actually for the socks that I'm gonna knit. But yeah. Oh, PKL 18. God, it's gonna be such good memories. Like, it's already such good memories, but like every time I look at that bag, it's going to hit me all over again, and I'm thrilled. So just a few more things as we're nearing like a half-hour mark. I was able to get some lollipop yarn. Tag looks like that. And the skein is sock hop, which is 6 rows purple people eater, 6 rows twist. So it's the purple people eater and like speckles. And this one is an 80-20 merino nylon, 410 yards. So pretty. There were a couple that they did knit up tubes, which was brilliant. It was just like a little swatch, maybe so big, knit in the round, just like kind of like a leg of something, so you could really see how the stripes knit up. And I picked this one. I don't know, it just that purple really called to me, and kind of like Easter socks maybe this year. I don't know. That I do love how the balls feel, but I knit 2 at a time. So unfortunately, I'm gonna have to dismantle this beautiful ball. I don't really want to, but I knit 2 at a time. And then the last but not least, I went back again to the junk yarn booth because I wasn't sure that I was quite done. I really did want to get a skein of junk yarn while I could, but I couldn't find something that just like grabbed me. And I was at the kind of end of my budget where I wanted to only buy things that absolutely screamed at me to go get them. And it's the Luna colorway. It's Harry Potter. It's a Luna colorway. Mina got the one that didn't have Stellina, and I got the one that did. And I don't know, the minute I saw the Stellina, that was the missing factor. It was that little bit of silver that just boop, picked my heart up and went, you. And I went, yes, you, me, we're going home. So I grabbed this from the junk yarn booth. And I have my own skein. I have my own skein. I'm so excited. So this is going to be 438 yards, 75, 25, and 70, 20, and 5% Stellina. You know what I mean. There we go. But like, oh, how gorgeous are you? Like, look at that. Oh. Yup. My whole heart. It has my whole heart. I need to make socks. And I kind of want to use a Mina pattern because Mina really looked after me all day. Like, not in a bad way, but like if they were moving on, she kind of like would give me a wave and give a point of like what direction they were moving in, or like, oh, we'll be right over here. Texted me when they settled down to let me know where the meetup spot upstairs was. Like, I owe her so much just for like helping me out. So I was kind of thinking a Mina pattern would be a nice memory to work into this, since I got to spend the whole day with Mina. She was the first and pretty much last person that I saw. She put me in a cab at the end of the night. That sounds really bad. I hailed a cab by myself, which I've never done in New York. And Jacqueline and Julie laughed hysterically at me. And I love them for laughing because I know I looked ridiculous. But I hailed a cab. So, go me. You New Yorkers must be laughing at me. I'm sorry. I just don't hail cabs. I don't do it. So this was the first time I did it, and someone actually listened to my hand and came over, drove me home. Right? Isn't that it's an accomplishment? You should all feel very proud on the daily. So anyway, Mia was hailing the cab and then went, "No, you do it." Shoved me out into traffic. "Go do it." So I did. I was like, "What do I do? Show my hand up? This it? Is this how you do it? What? Okay, hi, yes? Yes, I hailed a cab, which they all got a good giggle at later, which is fine. So I just was thinking that would be a nice memory. I've really loved Mina's New York sock collection. I watched Kay knit like all of them, and I've been debating for a while doing the Central Park socks. So perhaps. I'm just a little worried about gauge. I know Mina knits a lot tighter than I do on a lot more stitches than I do, and I don't want to make super huge socks. I want to make socks that fit. So I'll have to have a think on how to attack that, but yeah, I can always figure it out. So yes, this was the last skein that I purchased. It was junk yarn. It's Luna, and I think it's the first one I want to cast on from the haul. I mean, it's a very tough choice because I've got all of these gorgeous pretties plus these gorgeous pretties, which I can't even hang on to everything, plus these. So I mean, like, my sock collection shall grow. I was thinking maybe these would be the first to cast on. They'd be really fun and nice and squishy, and they'd be like you know, cozy socks, bed socks almost. So yes, I had a blast. Afterwards, we went to get some ramen, and I had some dumplings, which were delicious. Dumplings and knitting and laughing, and then they made sure that I got back to the hotel fine. I actually met up with Pat. The Eagles had won the game. He was in a very good mood, and we had some nibbles at the bar, chatted with his friends. Andrew and Julie were there, so it was just very, very fun. And then, of course, they didn't care, but I'm like spilling my goods onto like the bar table of like, and this is what I got, and this is when I met this person, and this is when I met that person, and yeah, it was just really fun. I got a picture with Stephen West, and he liked my dotted rays, which it's his pattern, but he really liked the color choices I did, and I dyed them all. That was really fun. And Kristen kind of did a have you met Ted, and popped me right into a conversation with Lavanya Patronella, of which then I got a picture. So then we're sitting upstairs for a while previously in the day, and like I look up, and oh my gosh, Andrea Mowry just walked over to the table and starts chatting with Kristen. Like, can this girl get any cooler? Like, oh my word. So like I gasp, like it's Andrea Mowry. And like once again, Mina's just looking at me like, Meg. I'm like, sorry. I can't help my reactions. They're very real. Like, they're very real. So that was wonderful. I got a picture with Andrea Mowry. I wish I had had a faded with me because I knit 2 of them at this point, and now I'm gonna knit a 3rd. I told her I had bought more yarn for a faded. I was very excited. So yeah, it was just a blast. An absolute blast. If it's on your to-do list, keep it on your to-do list. Do it. Do it. It's so much fun. It's so great to meet people. I'd suggest maybe going with a friend just in case you get separated with other people. I was able to run into the dyer behind Machete Shop. I was able to hang out with the dyer of Yoshi and Lucy Knits, which is Denise. So that was really cool. She was the first color in my second faded, which was fun. Let's see. I was able to chat up with different people in the booths. I should not take credit. Cassie found me of the Raspberry Knitter podcast, and I got to meet her mom, who was super nice, and she took photos for us, and I did like a little quick interview because Gemma Darling Daly, Danielle, I keep calling her Gemma, it's gonna keep happening, she had done like a mini interview of the fade that I was buying, so I was like in the mindset of, I was like, oh, what are you wearing? Tell me about your yarn. What would you like to look for? So that was fun to be like on the other side of it for a second there too. And she's absolutely sweet, taller than I would think. I'm just so short. I stopped growing in like 8th grade. That was it. So yeah, it was a blast. And then the next day, hung out, did brunch. I wish I could have gone and hung out with Kristen and the girls. They were doing more yarn shops and kind of like having dinner, and I was so green with envy, but we had to catch a train back. And yeah, it was a long night. We still didn't get home until like 10:30, and luckily we both had off Monday, so we had a whole day to just relax together, which I needed. Mentally, I needed. Not that like the weekend was very the bus ride up was horrible, and it was hectic, and we had a rough Uber ride there, and I was just miserable. And we hadn't eaten dinner until 9:30 at night, and I hadn't eaten anything since 9:30 that morning. Oh man, was I crabby. But the next day was wonderful and made up for, as Pat said, but you're here, you made it. And I'm like, I didn't make it, I didn't go tomorrow yet. And he's like, you made it, you're here. I'm like, it's terrible, I want to eat something. So yes, it was wonderful, and the train home was great, and the metro only got delayed for a little bit one time, so that wasn't horrendous. They're single tracking on the red line, which ugh. And then yeah, that was it. We got home, and then we proceeded to throw in laundry and dishes and that kind of stuff. There's a lot to catch up on. Yeah, it's been a blast. So, this is about 40 minutes in now, and I am gonna have to pop it onto my computer to upload it, because I thought this was gonna be like a quick 15-minute vlog, and it turned into like a rant and a half. What are you gonna do with me? I don't know. So thank you for hanging out with me if you're still here, and I will see you hopefully Friday in the actual podcast when I talk even more. So I hope you're looking forward to that. And yeah, if I don't catch you for a little while, happy knitting, and I will see you soon. Bye. Hello and welcome to the Hello and welcome to a vlog that is not our her last vlog. If you watched her, not vlog, blog, no, podcast. There we go. Her last podcast. You will live.